Hey there, welcome back to the Schwowin's Nest. My name is Sandra, and today I'm sharing some easy and quick farmhouse spring decor ideas that turn out absolutely gorgeous. I hope you love them as much as I do. I'm starting off this first project with a board that has already been painted a couple of times. I'm going to repurpose it and create a cute little vintage sewing sign. The first thing I'm doing is using DIXIE BELLE's Dropcloth mineral chalk paint to give this one coat to refresh the color. When you're investing in good quality paints and brushes, you want to make sure you take care of them. I always use one of these plastic gloves before I screw the cap back on because that ensures that my paint won't dry out. My favorite place to find graphics and text and all sorts of things you need for crafting is Creative Fabrica. I found this beautiful set of vintage sewing machines, so I downloaded it and then selected one and printed it off on regular printer paper. To get a really beautiful tear on the paper, I'm using a small brush with some water and then making the edge of the graphic wet, and then I can very easily just pull it apart and make a beautiful outline for my project. Since I'm using a vintage graphic, I wanted to give the paint a little bit of a crackle or aged look. So I'm using this Folk Art Crackle Medium. I've had this bottle for probably over 10 years and it still works. It's an amazing product. It didn't cost that much. So check it out at Michael's or even on Amazon. And I think I have it listed in my Amazon store as well. I'm just going to go around the outside of the wood piece because my graphic is going to cover up everything else, so I don't need to waste too much of the crackle medium for underneath that graphic. I'm applying it fairly thick because I want a thick crackle to show up. I'm going to let it dry, but I am going to speed up the process just a little bit with my hairdryer. For the top color, I chose something that would blend in really well with my vintage print. So this is just a paint mist tint that I picked up at my local hardware store. And I'm using just a flat brush that's going to give me the ability to put one thick stroke on top of the crackle medium. You don't want to go over it too many times because that will disturb the crackle. It will start showing that crackle pretty much right away, but you can speed up the process using a heat source like a hairdryer. To add even more of a vintage look, I used some burnt umber acrylic paint, but I applied it way too thick. I should have gone in with a watered down feature of that, or I should have used some antiquing wax, but I was able to fix how much I put on by just dabbing on a little bit of water. So I did that with the rest of the edges as well. Added some of the burnt umber and then used a damp cloth just to blend it in. And it did turn out looking pretty good. Another way that I could have fixed my oops was just using a little bit more of the top coat color and sponging that on, or just giving it a little bit more of a watered down look. And that would have camouflaged how thick the burnt umber went on as well. So there's always ways that you can fix something if you don't like it. That's the beauty of paint. I'm using Mod Podge just around the edges of where the graphic will lay. I'm not planning on sealing it because I don't want to have any kind of shine on this project. I will go around the edges if it needs a little extra Mod Podge, but I'm not going to be putting any on top. I'm not sure if any of you noticed that my graphic wasn't completely centered on my board, and that's because I want to add this antique brass handle on the top. It's a drawer pull, but I thought it would be a really fun embellishment just to bring more of that vintage vibe into this project. To add even more vintage appeal, I'm using this antique brass drawer pull. I'm going to be drilling in 2 holes and then using some hot glue to glue them into the holes. It's just an added embellishment that I think brings out more of the vintage charm for this project. To get the link for these graphics, check the description box below.
I picked this utensil up at a garage sale. I think it's meant for concrete or tile work. It's really beautiful with the rusty and crusty stuff, but that handle is plastic. So I'm going to give it a couple of coats of white chalk paint and make it look like wood. I've had this bottle of Folk Art Crackle Medium for at least 20 years, and I'm really excited to say that it hasn't dried up. It's still in the same shape as it was when I bought it. I'm going to give the bottom blade of this utensil a really nice thick coat and then set it aside to dry. I used my hair dryer to help speed up the drying process of the crackle medium. And now I'm going to be applying white chalk paint. Now, when you're applying the chalk paint on top of the crackle medium, it's really important not to go over your paint too often because that will disturb the crackle medium underneath. The thickness of the top coat will determine how big or small your crackle is. If you put a thick coat on, you'll get nice, big, thick cracks. And if you put a thinner coat on, they'll turn into smaller, thinner cracks. I'm going to end up getting a little bit of the mix of the two here. And on the bottom, you can see that it's already starting to go. The crackle starts fairly quickly using this type of crackle medium. To speed it up even more and to make even bigger cracks, I'm going to use my blow dryer to heat it up. And you can see that there's some wonderful cracks coming in here, and I think it's going to look absolutely amazing. Now that I've got my crackle done, I'm going to turn this white plastic handle into a wood look handle. And the way I'm doing this is taking a really rough brush. This brush has had so much paint on it, it's really going to give me a coarse look. And you can see here that I'm kind of getting some streaky lines. And that's going to make it look like wood grain. So I'm just going to keep applying the brown wax until I get the color and the texture that I want. I'm going to cut some strips out of some scrap fabric. I love this gray and white ticking stripe. It's my favorite. I'm also going to use some of this white flour sack towel, but I'm not going to use the drop cloth. Instead of cutting the flour sack cloth all the way through, I decided to tear it. It gives it a really nice rustic look. Earlier on in my YouTube days and in my decor days, I never really used bows on things, but they are really starting to grow on me, especially these messy bows. I really love the look of them, and with these longer pieces, you get more of a droopy effect, which is what I was looking for with this bow. I'm going to just lay all of these in different angles, use everything up, and then I'll just take a piece of flour sack cloth and just tie it up really tight. To bring in just a little bit more color or rusticness to this project, I'm going to take some of this twine and I'm wrapping it about 10 to 15 times around my finger. And then I'm going to just grab it together in the center, grab another piece of twine, and tie it off really tight. And this is just going to create a really fun, messy bow look. It's going to have the loops like a regular bow, but I'm gonna have a whole bunch of different loops, and this just makes it look so pretty. To assemble everything and get my final look, I'm going to use some hot glue to glue the messy bow right on top of the handle. Then I'm going to take my other little bow that I made with the twine and all of the little loops and glue that right on top. I added some bits of greenery and lavender, and I just love how this turned out. It's rustic, but it's shabby. It's gorgeous. I just love thrifting these small little baskets. I think this one is absolutely adorable. Of course, it's got that regular wicker color again, so we definitely need to upcycle this and make it a beauty in itself. I'm taking some white chalk paint, and actually, this is Fusion Mineral Paint in the color Picket Fence. And I'm using a pointed sash brush from Fusion as well. That just helps to get into all of the little nooks and crannies. It's also going to help me create a really nice line up at the top where the band is. I'm going to be leaving the band this color, and I just thought that would be a really nice accent for this basket. I also gave the inside of the basket a couple of coats because I'm not going to be putting anything in it or gluing any florals in this. I wanted this basket to just kind of be on its own, and then you could fill it with whatever you wanted. To accent this, I'm just taking this beautiful black ribbon with a beautiful white stitching all along it, and I'm going to hot glue it right underneath that band. And I think the combination of the white, that honey brown, and this black really makes this basket look so elegant. It's simple, but looks so high end. I love this basket.
Cutting boards are one of my favorite things to thrift. I'm always on the lookout for them, but I always make sure that they are a solid wood piece and not that bamboo that you see a lot nowadays. I've made a stain that is going to blend in with that burn mark on here, and that's just going to give it even more character. I'm using a paper towel just to wipe it on, and I'm going to make sure that I go all the way around the edges and the bottom and top as well. Now I'm taking a piece of candle wax. This is just something that was a tea light and I just popped it out of its little container. I'm rubbing it around all of the edges where I want the paint not to stick. So I am going to be painting this, and then the candle wax won't allow the paint to adhere to the board, which will give me a really rustic, weathered look. I'm using some white acrylic paint. I buy a gallon of this at my hardware store and I use it all the time. If I wanted to have chalk paint, I would just add a little bit of baking soda, or normally I would just use some talc. But you don't really need it for this project. I'm going over it with one coat, and I'm not going to be very thick with it. If some of the wood is already showing through and you see some brush strokes, that will just add to the character of this piece. Now it is time for the reveal. I'm using some coarse grit sandpaper, but I'm not using a lot of pressure. All I'm going to be doing is going over the whole thing, and wherever the wax was, it's going to be pulling that wax up onto the sandpaper to reveal the dark wood underneath. I love this technique. I don't use it very often, but I think I might have to do it a little bit more because I really love how this one turned out. I knew I wanted to put something on this that could hold a little bit of floral. I rummaged through my stash and came across this glass test tube. So I went out to my garage, I grabbed a hose clamp and put it on there just to give it a little bit of a rustic look. And I'm going to use hot glue and my Weld Bond glue in combination to make sure that this sticks onto the board really well. I won't be putting anything heavy in here, probably just one sprig of faux greenery, but I wanted to make sure that this test tube would stick and stand the test of time. Once the hot glue dried, I added a little bit more on either side of the glass for a little bit of extra support, and then I added this beautiful spring stem. Thanks so much for spending some of your time with me today. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. If you haven't already, I'd love it if you could hit that red subscribe button and stick around a while. If you like this video, here's a couple more that might interest you too. See you soon!